Hello and welcome to Arabic language lessons. This is going to be a small review and a few suggestions that I'm going to make. So first we're going to say Assalamu alaikum, and I've got a few questions in the comment section, and I'm going to try to answer them here and I give you a few suggestions on how to learn. And I know everyone has their own method of learning, but this is just a few suggestions. Since we've reached the 10 lesson mark, we've made 10 lessons, praise be to Allah, Alhamdulillah, and all thanks is due to Him. And I thank you if you've reached this mark, and let's do what we need to do. So when you go and review the lessons, or when you keep going in the lessons, focus on the purpose of the lesson. Like if the lesson says we're going to deal with the letters and see what they look like in the beginning and the middle and end, just try to do that. The other things that I talk about are not as important as the purpose of the lesson. Like when we go to the root lesson, my main purpose is to show you that what roots are and how they behave. And I give you something else and examples to make sure that we get that point before we move on to something else. And I'm going to show you like a method that I use when I learn languages, and maybe it works for you, maybe not, but I'm just going to share it with you. So this is me learning another language, and what I do is I collect vocab words as I go. This is like how I measure my progression. So I would have like the word, I would have its meaning, and then I would like put like pronunciation somewhere. And I suggested that I made like a file similar to this for you guys to learn in Arabic. If you wish, like, you know, everyone has their learning ways or how they learn. So I just wanted to show you that collecting vocab is a good way to measure. I suggested that, you know, you could have the first column be the root, because we are dealing with roots a lot in Arabic. And the language I'm learning, I'm not sure if it has roots yet. Or, you know, it might be similar to English. But in Arabic we have roots, so I suggest that you have the first column like highlighted somehow for the roots. You like write root and you write it in Arabic, and the next row you have the form that the word is going to come in, like the templates that we used in the previous lessons. So you have the root here, and then you have the most basic form, which is the past form, Madi, so fa'ala, right? And I picked those you know, 3 words for you to see like how you might want to do this. So like, you know, you have the word in its basic form, most basic, the past, and then you have it in the mudari, or the present, and then you have the template above to see, you know, to keep track. And then, you know, as we move on, we deal with the different forms. So we dealt with the ushkur before. We dealt with shakara, yashkur, ushkur, and we dealt with those 3. So you put it under order, so you know what it is. It's an order verb. You know, you put your own notes, but this is just a suggestion that I'm showing you. And you know, we dealt in a lesson with fa'il, the doer of the action. So, you know, you can put the fa'il next to it, next to the same root that we dealt with. And yeah, and you can have like the done upon, and you put them there. And we dealt with attributes, so you can collect like the attributes. We did not deal with those 2, but I added them. That's why I have them in blue. Dhakir and dhakur, and it comes from the root ذكر. So ذكر, if you remember in a previous lesson, it means he remembered or he mentioned. If you go back to the root lesson, you'll see it. And we dealt with it in fa'il, ذاكر. And in attribute form, there's two forms which mean the same thing. It becomes an attribute of remembering. So when you say he is ذكير or ذكور, that means when he studies, he remembers well. So this is just a suggestion. Also, this sheet, like you can separate sheet based on sections, if you remember. I'll show you just in case you forgot. 1 second. So this is what I was talking about when I mentioned the doors or the sections. And we did this in intro to grammar and a little bit of history. And we introduced the doors or the sections. So if you remember those 7 sections, and we had to put in the top somewhere that this is from this door. So my suggestion to you is whenever you should separate them. 1 sec. As I was saying, the 3 words I put in that sheet are all from this section. So they behave the same. So nasara, yansur, fa'ala, yaf'ul. Like this is the template for the words that behave like nasara, yansur. If you remember when we explained this. So there'll be other, there's 6 more doors, I'd say. In the book he had them 6, but I made them 7. Even though wa'ada behaves like dariba here. But it begins, usually when they begin with a waw, something happens. And that's for another lesson by itself. But for now, when you collect them, if you're going to collect them in a spreadsheet or together somewhere like what I just showed you, separate the doors. I put that, annotation or reminder of the top. Oh, 1 second, let me just show you what I mean. You remember, like, this is from the root lesson, and I put this here. It says bab nasara, and if you go to other words, you see it's a different door. Bab dariba, and then you have bab fahima. See, so try to separate them in separate sheets. Like see fahima. Here you have dariba, and here you have nasar. So coming back here, so what I showed you in the corner. So if it said bab nasara, this red one, nasar, that means that this is the template for it. This is the past form template, and this is the present form. If it said daraba yadrib, this is the template for it. And we saw fahima. And I think we used all the 7 somehow in the lessons. So yeah, coming back to this sheet, the small sheet that I made, all of those come from bab nasar, like the section nasar, from those 7 sections that I just showed you. And you can see like the template is the same. Fa'ala, yaf'ul. So instead of crowding them in one sheet, all the doors, I feel like you could have like 7 sheets like this, each one named after the door. So when you review, it's all the same in the same column. They're all the same when it comes to forms, right? Does that make sense? I feel like putting them like that is good for you when you review. So you have like from shakara, you have from this root you have shakara, dhakara, kafara, and they're all past, and they have the same template, fa'ala. And then you have in the present they behave the same as well. So yaf'al, sorry, يفعل يفعل يشكر يذكر يكفر. Do you see what I mean and why it's great and easier to separate them? Have each door has its own sheet. I see that they all behave similar. Anyhow, this is just a suggestion. So the last thing I wanted to show you is the two resources that I've been using. Al-Ma'ani website is one of my favorite. It's usually what I go to, and I spend a lot of time in this website whenever I'm reading an Arabic book or try to translate things when I do the lessons. And I use Quran.com to get the nicknames for the surahs. I feel like it's a good website. Let's just take a look at them. This is what Al-Ma'ani looks like. And when you go to it, you can click on here. Let's see this. Where is the English written? I should give it to you in English then. But yeah, I think if it's English, like here, switches to English. I'll put it in English. So yeah, it's a really good website. It has many dictionaries in it, and you can search the words. Try to go with the most basic form of the word, like the root of it, and it gives you suggestions here. And remember the moves on the word as well. So you can hear you have like some English translations. I mean, I don't think after 10 lessons you can go to the Arabic dictionary, but for now you can use the Arabic English dictionary, like from English to Arabic. And hopefully when you get better at this and you get better at Arabic, you'll use an Arabic dictionary, and hopefully we keep going, and I'll show you how you read or how you deal with an Arabic dictionary. Really fast. This is Quran.com, and that's where I get the nicknames. Alright, I have to go. So we're done with this, and see you in the next lesson. There's no ma'assalama this time. I have to go. I apologize. This is an unorthodox lesson. I forgot that we were recording instead of live, but I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to keep going. This is just talking. There's not like a concept or a lesson that we're doing. And inshallah, we'll say ma'as-salama as usual. So the fourth thing I feel, is make mistakes, practice. This is like from heart to heart. Like when I, first started learning English, I never got embarrassed because of my bad English or the words I say wrong or, incoherent sentences. But, I learned, you can understand me now when I'm speaking English to you. But at the beginning, it was really hard. But what would I do is, and this is, I'm not embarrassed by it, but some people might, when I tell people to do this, they go like, whoa, this is really embarrassing. Like, how can you do this? Like, what I do is I just talk to people. Like, I would walk up when I was in the West, particularly in Canada. And, I see people and I'm like, hi, and I start like talking to them. And, sometimes it's a group and they look at me and it's like, do we know you? Or like anywhere, like, the apartment building I was living in or in school or anywhere, I would, talk to people. I would make mistakes. I would get laughed at a lot and it didn't like bother me much, as long as, some people might, correct me. And that's what I was aiming for people to, correct my mistakes when I make them. So, once in a while, you get someone who's a good person and they would look at me and go like, yeah, well, you shouldn't say it that way. You should say this word that way. And, I would practice with them And that's how I got better. And I just kept doing this until I got better. I got better, and just listening to English audiobooks, or watching English movies, and you keep going. But most important is the practice. So probably for you, if you go to the mosque, just walk up to someone and start like saying the words you just learned. They might look at you weird. It's like, what are you doing? But your goal is to learn. And to achieve that goal, you have to get embarrassed. Like I remember my teacher. Let me pull a photo for him. So I pulled an image of him. This is Adnan Ibrahim. He's my favorite teacher. I watch his khutbahs like all the time, and his lectures, and he has a great channel. I've linked it in my channel, and I feel like he represents like what a good Muslim should be, and he also speaks really good Arabic, and he corrects our Arabic mistakes. So you learn Arabic in this channel, I learn Arabic in his channel. Do you see how it works? Like when you get to a better level, that you start understanding khutbahs, you should definitely listen to a few of his. They're on YouTube. And one time he said, admitting ignorance is bravery. And he explained it in a way. It's like you have to learn, you have to admit that you don't know. You have to put yourself out there that you don't know, that you're ignorant about something. And that way you learn. Like if you always pretend that you know everything, and that you've reached that level that you really don't need to learn, or it's because of fearing that you would look bad, and it's because of fearing that it's just I don't know how to say this. It's just fear, like fearing of getting embarrassed. Oh, look at him, he doesn't know, or fearing to make a mistake and then people laugh at you. And some of us are born, with immunity to embarrassment, or we get embarrassed. Like if you're like me, like I get embarrassed maybe a week after the incident. Like I'd be like taking a shower, and I'm like, oh, I remember something really stupid that I did, and I'm like, oh, I did that, and I start getting embarrassed. But it's like a week after, like low responses. But yeah, I mean, make mistakes, when you're anywhere and you find someone that speaks Arabic, say the words that say a few sentences that you learned. And, doesn't matter if they laugh, doesn't matter if it's great if they tell you you're wrong. It's like, oh, no, you're saying this wrong. And you're like, yeah, oh, well, how do you say it? And we're learning Fosha Arabic, so try to distinguish it between, slang Arabic. Like, when I was looking for my video to show it to someone, I've encountered a video that was dealing with like Syrian Arabic, like Shami Arabic. So they would say like Beddi or something like that. And I'm like, this is not Fosha. Like, I assume that most people that want to learn Arabic learn it because of the Quran, or because of they're Muslim, and they want to read the Quran. Because honestly, most of the knowledge today, like if you read about physics, you're not going to read it in Arabic. You're going to read something that's written hundreds of years ago about physics, and it's outdated. So I feel like the last thing that that is important in Arabic is the Quran. And that's mainly, I feel, why people learn it. So to go and make lessons teaching them like Gulf Arabic, like who wants to learn Gulf Arabic, or like Shami Arabic, like Syrian Arabic or Egyptian Arabic. I was like, I don't, I don't know, like maybe some people want to learn this Gulf Arabic or Syrian Arabic to move into the Gulf. I doubt they would want to move to Syria now, but people have different motivations. But I feel that the majority of people that seek knowledge about Arabic and learn it want to learn Fosha. So at least tell them it's not Fosha, right? In your video, go like, this is not Fosha, this is, Shami Arabic or something. Anyhow, thanks for listening to this. I know it wasn't like a lesson, it was just, me, giving you suggestions and, yeah. Oh, yes. Where is it? Yes. So, thanks for listening to this again. And as usual, we're going to say, مع السلامة.